It's the Slam Dunk.
Over the weekend, I wrote a piece for the New Zealand Listener in which I highlighted that a teaching couple were retiring at age 59 and 60 with $2.5 million in the bank. Retiring at age 60 with $2.5 million in the bank. That's because they had no choice but to join the Australian version of Kiwis, and their employer has put in a generous amount of money from day dot. Currently, it's 11.5% of their wage. The employer puts in, it's going to 12% shortly, very, very shortly. It means the Aussies have saved $4.6 trillion. Our KiwiSaver is nowhere near that at just $112 billion. We are so poor in comparison, and employers are forced to put in just 3% alongside our 3%. So it's nothing. The Aussie worker doesn't have to contribute a cent if they don't want to. And still, all this, the employers are held over a barrel, and that climbs so fast. The Aussies don't tax their savings anywhere near the rate that we do. Their savings tax is capped at 15%. For instance, I pay 28% here. It's just total bullshit. Paying tax on savings, and I can't see the government doing anything about that. They continue to fleece us. In truth, New Zealand politicians, and especially these National Party ones, have raided and stolen and cancelled our retirement savings all along. And seriously, they have set us up for a much lower standard of living in retirement. It's as simple as that. And I need to be as brutal as this. So back to the Aussie teachers as an example. This morning I got this email. Let me read it to you. Hello, my name is Simon. I began a teaching career aged 27 in 2003 in Napier, Hawke's Bay. I moved to Brisbane after 2 years of teaching and have been here ever since. My wife is also a teacher, so two teachers. We began retirement savings at 0% in 2007, so we had $0 in 2007. We're now approaching 50 with a combined $720,000 in super. At the expected growth rate of international share returns at retirement, we project to have about the same $2.5 million, Duncan, you were talking about in your story. This was accomplished by researching financial education and awareness, maxing out concessional contributions every year, trying to hit the annual limit of $25,000. More recently, that's $30,000. Instructing our funds to take on more risk by investing fully in the international stock market, not their own high-fee vanilla option, and further additional investments that we made outside of super. We each own homes, one without a mortgage. Started from zero in 2008. I have despaired at the state of retirement planning in New Zealand since I left. KiwiSaver only emerged after I departed, and its lifetime runs concurrent to my retirement planning in 2008. I'd be most happy to discuss this further. Duncan, thanks for raising awareness of this critical problem as New Zealand's population ages. I come home for a month in April, and each time I do, I wonder where the money will come from to support my colleagues who never got themselves organised for their own retirements. All the best, Simon. Experienced senior teacher at a state school in Brisbane. It's class, pure class from Simon. Smart, aware, a saver, and a brilliant scheme that sets you up for success. Labor set up KiwiSaver in 2007. Michael Cullen, brilliant. But all National has done since is to take things away from it. Add a tax, reduce the government contribution. And remember, it was Rob Muldoon who cancelled the National Savings Scheme set up by Labor in the 70s. If he hadn't done that, we'd be worth trillions today alongside the Aussies. It was a poor decision. Nationals meddling with our retirement savings has never, ever been good for workers. And once again, they're looking at KiwiSaver changes in the budget in the coming weeks. I urge all Kiwis to be ready to react strongly if they say maybe take away the yearly government contribution of just over $500. They've already halved it from $1,000. I'm just warning you to wake up and watch what they do. Will they force employers to contribute more? For the sake of our futures, they should, and it would be a pleasant surprise, but National doesn't want to add costs onto business, so I'm less than hopeful that they will. But truth is, we need to put more in as a default setting, and so do our employers. The difference with the Aussies is they means test national super. So not every Australian gets a state-funded pension like we do here. They simply don't qualify. Because their savings scheme is so good, employers have paid for it. Huge numbers of working people retire well above the comfort level. If you own $1 million of assets in cash or housing, then you don't get a pension in Australia. Quite frankly, you don't need it. So the Aussie employer pays heavily. And has that ruined their economy? Never. Our employers get away with blue murder and scream every time a cost is lumped on them. But this is urgent. We need to save more, and the government needs to be adding incentives to KiwiSaver, not taking things away from us. Can you believe that KiwiSaver is still not compulsory? Can you believe they tax our savings, which are already taxed because earnings are taxed? Can you believe the government is so wimpy, and the last one too, that they shy away from making business contribute anymore? They're almost sorry for business being involved. If it's okay in Aussie, then why not here? Demand more. But I have this inherent mistrust, especially of National, when it comes to saving schemes. KiwiSaver was never their idea. They've meddled with it, which has not benefited us at all. And their history shows they have a dislike of such a compulsory scheme, even though it's not compulsory. Fight your corner, New Zealand, because no one else will.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.